Hello, this is your girl Simply G, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming to view my video. But I just wanted to get straight to the point. So I'm talking about relocating to a new state as a new grad nurse. That's what I did, and it comes with its challenges. Definitely know the laws and the rules and everything about nursing and nurse practice acts before you decide to relocate. If you have a compact license, that's important. So you need to know what kind of license you have. And you need to know what kind of license is accepted in the state that you're going to, because it makes a huge difference in how fast you can start practicing in that state. Which is important, because if you hold a nursing license and you want to practice as a nurse, like, go get this money, sis. You know, no time to waste. So definitely do your research and find out the things that's important. Also, moving to a new state, it also falls under the Nurse Practice Acts. You need to know what you can and cannot do. In some states, you can do certain skills. Like, for instance, in some states, it's in a nurse's scope of practice to draw an ABG. In some states, they cannot draw an ABG. And yes, it is a thing. Trust me. There was a great debate on my unit about being able to and not able to draw ABGs with the travel nurses, and because they've gone to several states, they know what they're talking about for the most part. I mean, I fact checked them just because it's me, but they were right. So anyway, so know what you can and can't do. That way, when you start a job or you accept a job, you know the expectation, and you also know what to ask your educators about, and kind of like say, hey, look, I've never done this. Yes, I'm a new grad, I'm into nursing school, but in the state that I graduated from, we did not do this, or we weren't taught this, because this wasn't this wasn't considered like our scope of practice. So it's okay, as long as you go to them and acknowledge that you don't know this or are uncomfortable about it, it's perfectly fine. They'll get you exactly where you need to be. It's just about being transparent and open and being able to say, look, hey, I need help. And also, they appreciate it if you took time out to become knowledgeable of what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. And also the expectation. That looks really good on your part. So moving to a new state, when you're in nursing school, you go through your clinicals, you gain connections, you begin to learn, hospital systems, their EMR, their electronic medical record system. You learn so much, but if you just uproot and move to a new state, it's like you have to learn all of this all over again. And for me, it was mostly about the connections. By me doing clinicals in hospitals where I come from, I knew nurse managers, I knew educators, I knew doctors and physicians and providers. I had a lot of friends there, I had a lot of family there, and moving to a new place, it was like a blank slate. I didn't know anybody, I didn't know anything, I didn't know the reputation of hospitals. I mean, yeah, you can look them up online, but like, there's nothing like actually having done clinical or know someone who works in that hospital or on that unit to know exactly what the temperature is, so sorry, what the temperature is. So it's, that was a huge deal for me that I didn't think about before I left. So yes, just kind of being a new face and going into a new culture, because I believe, in my experience, healthcare have its cultures. Different parts of the United States, different states, healthcare feels different, and whether you want to believe it or not, it's true. So just learning the culture, learning the way of healthcare in major cities or small towns is important. So there's a lot of homework to do on your part as the nurse, because you want to make sure you walk in there and you at least, have as much information as you can that you could have obtained on your own. So yeah, that's that. So moving to a new state, like I said, I wanted this video to be quick, but moving to a new state, my advice to you is to do your research, do your homework, Get a notebook and write down a few things. Write down a few of the major hospital systems. Call HR, and you can ask them. You can always call any HR, and you can ask them, what is the starting rate for a nurse? They say, well, I can't really, and they say, what is the starting rate for a new grad nurse? Because they have to give you the base pay. What is the base pay? Now, if you come in with extra experience and your certifications already or anything like that, they can't tell you what you'll make with that included, but they can at least tell you the base pay. And with that information, you can begin to, kind of say, okay, well, I want to go here, I want to go there. I mean, because everybody wants to make the most money. You can also find out information about if they do tuition reimbursement, or any kind of programs that they offer. So definitely do your homework, because that first job is very important. It's kind of like your foundation. And yeah, some people don't like their first job and they quit. And that's fine, because you're not obligated to stay anywhere. But just ask those questions and do your research, and everything will be fine. It is doable to move to a new state as a new grad. It has its challenges, however, because you are new and you don't know anything about you don't have any connections or anything like that. So if that's what you feel you want to do, or that's what you feel you need to do, then I am an advocate for it, and go for it, and the sky's the limit. And don't let anyone hold you back and tell you, oh, you're a new grad, you don't have any experience, you don't know anybody, and you're gonna. No, go for it. If you have a plan, your family has a plan, and it's gonna work for you, go for it. Trust me, you will not regret it, especially if you set yourself up for success. So once again, thank you for visiting my channel, and I'm gonna let you go. But yeah, I just wanted to come drop a quick video on y'all, just to kind of put that out there for all of the nurses, or even if you're a physical therapist or occupational therapist or anything like that, wanting to relocate to a new state. Just do it. And I'll make another video after this, because I am a mom and a wife and all that other good stuff that comes with it. So relocating to a new state with a family, that just adds so much more to this video. So I'm gonna go on and close the video out, but I'm gonna make another video about being a mom and moving children, and just going to a new state and just starting this all over. Like some people trying to figure out, how did you do it? So just stay tuned and you will find out. Thank you. Goodbye.